So if I take a classical guitar piece, one of the most famous classical guitar pieces, and I turn it into a sweep picking exercise, what would it sound like? Like I always say, classical music works really well with metal, and sometimes even vice versa if you're making neoclassical, right? As this channel is going a lot of neoclassical stuff. So basically, I'm here to teach you the sweep picking arpeggios for Villa-Lobos' Etude number 1. Now, if you don't know Villa-Lobos, he was a Brazilian composer in the early to mid 19th century. And his etudes for classical guitar is awesome. He's a really good classical guitar player, composer, and this is basically one of the most popular classical guitar pieces to work on, especially with the right hand, because there's a lot of really good finger picking stuff. So what I thought I did was I would take those arpeggios or those chords and put them into sweep picking arpeggios, okay? And man, is it tough, okay? So you guys are really in for a treat. So the tabs are on the screen. I'm going to go over some music theory with it so you guys kind of understand what's going on, and let's get started. Got my sheet music right here. So the first arpeggio, E minor, because that's the key that we're in. So we got 1 sharp, we're in E minor. Pretty standard shape, right? Okay, the second shape is a half diminished chord, okay? So the half diminished chord is going to be a 2 half diminished chords. So in E minor, that would be F sharp, A, C, and E. Pretty much like that. Now this position might be a little bit hard, so here's what I recommend you do with your fingers. Use your ring finger for that note C, which is the 15 of the A. Right? And then usually when I come back up, I switch and sometimes use my middle finger for that 15th fret. Okay, so then after that, we're going right back to the same E minor shape. Okay, and then from there, we got to do our fully diminished 7 chord shape, which is going to be like this. Okay, and that position can be a little bit tough. I like to use my ring finger for the first note, which is going to be a D sharp. So it's going to be on the 18 of the A string. And you're pretty much going back a fret each, or I'm sorry, back 2 frets each time. And then you're doing the standard. Now, after we do that, we have to do our E minor again, but it's over G. So that means that there is a low G in the bass. So it's an inverted chord, right? It's first inversion. So you basically... Okay, and it sounds pretty nice, but the stretching can be a little weird. So I basically did G, B, E, and then did the standard arpeggio, right? Okay, so then the next part is going to be E major. So now we got to raise that G to a G sharp because that is the third of the chord, and we're trying to turn that minor chord into a major chord, okay? So... right, pretty simple. So whenever you go minor to major, you got to move the third up a fret or up a half step, right? A minor sweep, 12th fret, A string. Okay, now this next shape is a little bit weird. So on the sheet music, it sounds like a really weird sounding chord. It would be something like a minor 7, flat 5, and you can kind of sweep it how I did it like this. So then the last 3 chords is going to be E minor, E minor 9, and then B7, okay? So that's going to look like this. E minor, we're back to that first sweep. E minor 9, add an E in there, which you could do. I'm sorry, E minor 9, add an F sharp. which I just added after you get to that B string. Go to the 19 after you go to the 17. I love that. And then after that, we're just going to our B7 dominant chord, right? Just like that. And it's pretty simple because a dominant 7th arpeggio on the guitar, regular major shape, except you have to add this note right here, which is the 7th, which is the 14th fret of the G. And that was pretty much it, guys. So it's pretty cool. I really like this chord progression a lot, and it really opened up my eyes a little bit on certain new shapes that we can try out with our sweep picking and our metal playing, which just taken from Villa-Lobos. So thank you to Villa-Lobos for this awesome exercise. And yeah, check out some of my other videos on music theory if you're confused, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.